let's look into the various data files that pandas data frame can read, and it can work and manipulate with it. And after doing that manipulation, it can also store it in different data file formats. So in this video, we'll try to look at the most commonly used data file in which we normally work, which is CSV and Excel. Okay, so let's get into the coding part. Before that, I will show you the various functions that are used in pandas to do this operation. So these are the list of functions. So the function name is like read underscore the data type to read a particular data file format. Similarly, to write it, it is to underscore the particular file format. These are the various file formats that are available. I will share you with a link where you can explore on each and every data file post that is there. Okay, so before that, let's get into the coding part. So let's look into the coding part right now. So I'm importing the libraries. After that, I'm installing wget. So wget is used to download files from the internet, and it is not installed in the Colab that we generally use. So let's install it. Since I've already done, it's already satisfied over here. If you get an error like this, you can install wget. Similarly, these two libraries will also be installed in Colab. But since if you are running it in local, you need to install this to write and read in a Excel. So I have all the things installed before itself. I am importing wget. So what I'm doing is I'm reading Titanic dataset from online. So what this wget download does is currently I have sample data on one particular file for Excel format. I don't have any CSV Titanic file. So what wget does is it gets the file and stores it. So when you refresh it over here, it's there in the instance that you're running. So you can read the using read CSV file. It is used to read a particular file. So there are various parameters that can be passed, like separator and index column and many other things. We'll first go with the default one without any parameters. That's the file path. Okay, you can also pass URL. We'll look into it in the upcoming cells. So I'm running it. So df.help helps you to display a part of the data set. So the first 10 instance would be printed. So if you give without any argument, first 5 would be printed. Okay. So you can see that we totally have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, around 7 to 8 rows. Okay. So the first thing that we normally do when you get a data set in hand is use the function called as info. df dataframe.info. It gives you all the information about it. So there are totally 877 entries over here, and we have 0 to 7, 8 columns totally. And we also have the data types of each and every column. So few of them are int, or strings are considered to be object. Okay, it would be written as object, and we also have some float values over here. So you can also use attributes like d types. So it returns the attribute of all the various columns. There's also another function called as describe. What it does is it gives many insights into numeric data alone. So what is the total count, the mean value, what is the maximum value, all these things are given. Okay, so it might be useful in many cases, like what is the average age of people, so you can get the mean. Similarly, what is the maximum age? All these kind of information can be got using this simple df.describe command. Okay, till now we have seen into just using CSV. We can also get a CSV directly using an URL. So I actually use wget to download the CSV, then I imported it. You can also get the CSV directly into your Jupyter notebook by using just the URL. So another thing that we can pass is use columns. What this does is only the columns that you are passing, that alone would be selected and loaded. So if you have very large data set and you want just few things to be loaded into the memory, you can use this. So we totally had 8 columns, right? I'm just choose 3 columns over here. So let's see the head of df2. We just have that selected 3 columns. So it starts from 0. So survived, name and siblings should be there, I guess. 0 to 5 again. Yeah, 0 to 3. So survived, name and sex. These are 3 things that are provided and it is available. Okay. So we can similarly skip rows also. So what you can see that the first name is Owen. So what I'm doing is I'm skipping the first 3 names. So the index 0 actually represents the column name. So we are not using index 0. We are just keeping 1, 2, and 3. You can print df2 head right now. So you can see that it's starting from the third person, the fourth person actually. The first three people are omitted. We can skip rows like this, and you can also give a range of rows. So you can basically create a range using np.arange or something, or normal numpy range, sorry, a Python range, and create a list like this and skip all those rows. So this one thing of reading. So far we have read only CSV files. So there is also Excel files that we want to read. So I already created an Excel file over here. I uploaded an Excel file from my local system. So I will share you with this Excel file, or you can use any Excel file that you want. You can upload it. So read Excel reads the file. So let me just print the head of it. So we can also print the tail. So the tail returns last values. So I'll print the last three values. So these are last three values. As you can see, the index is very high. So it represents the last three values. Okay. So far we have seen about reading from a particular data format. So let's write into a particular data format. So I've simply created a data frame. So it's a very small data frame, as you can see. So I'll just print it also. So this is the data frame we have. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to write this data frame into an Excel file. So it's simply like the data frame name dot to Excel. Okay, to underscore Excel. You give the file name, and you can also give the sheet name. So in Excel there are many sheets, right? So you can give the sheet name. You can also decide the starting column and starting row. All these things I'll just elaborate on it so that you can see various parameters that are available. So you can also give say things like this. Okay, the header and also index label and all these things. We'll try to look into it, or I'll provide you the documentation where you can explore on yourself. Okay, fine. I guess we have run this thing. No, not yet. So let's run it. So when it's run, a file is created. If you refresh it, you'll be able to see it. Yeah, fruits.excel is created. So similarly, you can also create CSV2 CSV file. So a CSV file should be created right now. So I'm not passing any parameter right now. I'm just using normal CSV. So let's see the output over here. CSV is nothing but comma separated with values. Okay. So this is the thing that we have given. It is coming with the index and the header that we have passed. So what we can do is sometimes this index would be unimportant. We just need the actual data. So if we are passing the argument as index as false, it removes that particular index. Okay. So let's print it and let's show it to you. So this fruit1.csv, as you can see, this thing is removed. Similarly, you can also remove the header. Okay, but once the header is removed, when you visualize it over here, the first column would be passed as the header. But in actual file, it's not an issue. I'll also show it. You can also remove the index as well as the header. So this is the output. Okay. So to explore more, I have provided you the link. You can use it. So I hope we have because we are exploring on this Excel and CSV because these are the common formats used in tabular data. We also have other formats like I'll just show you the other formats. So I'll just go to this link. So we have various formats: CSV, JSON, HTML. All these things are supported by Pandas. So you can read this documentation to learn more on it. Okay. So that's it for this video. See you in the next video.